Revelation, chapter 1. The revelation of which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare record of the word of God, and of the testimony of God, and of all things he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. John to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests. Behold, he come with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in the tribulation, and in the kingdom and patience of God, was in the isle that is called Patmos, for the word of God and for the testimony of God. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shining in his strength. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, Fear not, I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And have the keys of hell and of death. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the 4 winds in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, and what I want to get into, there's been the topic, all right, floating around, since, that terrible, interpretation of this parable, came out from IUIC, and we address these things for the sake of edification. Okay, because we know at the end of the day, false prophets, men, all right, leaders of Israel misleading, okay, Israelites, okay, the damnation, that's part of the story, okay, and we don't marvel at it, all right, but as Yahweh Shai has, made us overseers in the spirit, over the sheep, okay, we make sure that we are rooted, okay, in the understanding of these things, okay? Because if we speak about faith, all right, there's no faith without understanding, because you have to understand what you have faith in, okay? And there's a lot of confusion, being pushed out, all right? And we're here, to keep things aligned, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, now let's get straight into it. And I'm just gonna break down the first few precepts, and then we'll get into the other part, but I just want to focus on the first part of this parable. When you go to Luke 16 and 19, it said there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. Okay, and you read this in the NLT, Luke 16 and 19. There was a certain rich man who was splendidly clothed in purple and fine linen, and who lived each day in luxury. All right, and this rich man is speaking of Esau and his blessing. Okay, because we have to understand, all right, that Esau, all right, even though he, all right, sold his birthright, he still received a blessing. Okay, and it was temporal, and right now Esau's in his temporal blessing. Okay, he's that rich man that's enjoying his temporal blessing received from Isaac. So let's go back to, all right, the blessing given to Esau from Isaac. Okay, it's in Genesis 27, and I started 34. It says that when Esau, matter of fact, I start here. All right, let's go to the end of Jacob leaving, picked up where we left off this morning. All these things tie in together. Just as we spoke about this morning, all prophecy is centered around these two nations, okay, that will come from Jacob and Esau. And that's why we see all these things are tying in together. Okay, so this is Genesis 27 and 30. It says, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made the end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his father came, it's like Esau his brother came in from hunting, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless him. So Esau comes in after, okay, Jacob is blessed. Jacob is given everything. All right, he is getting the blessing that was given to Abraham, passed to Isaac. All right, and it passed to Jacob. Okay, and Jacob got the blessing of the firstborn. All right, which we went into that. And Isaac, his father, said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And see, remember, Esau sold the birthright. But then he comes and say, look, it's me, your firstborn. Okay, like he never sold it. All right? And I say, everything that we see happening goes back to what this devil did with his birthright. Okay, thousands of years ago, man. Okay? And it says, and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that have taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yeah, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding and bitter, and said unto his father, bless me, even me, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? And Esau was doing all this crying as if he didn't sell his birthright. Okay. He's making all this fuss. And that's one thing about it. This guy's a hell of a victim actor, man. Okay. He's a hell of a victim actor, man. All right. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. No, you sold it. Okay? What do you mean he took it away? You sold it. All right? Y'all had a conversation. Y'all had a dialogue. All right? And you sold that birthright. And behold, now he have taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So Isaac is like, look, I've given Jacob everything. All right, what can I give you? What do I have left to give? Okay, I've given your brother everything. You see? So reading on, so he's weeping. So Isaac like, all right, nigga, shit. Okay. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So you read this in the NLT. Finally, his father Isaac said to him, you will live away. All right. It says you will live away from the richness of the earth and away from the dew. Oh no, I think that you will live away. Yeah, he probably went off on that. It said, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So Esau was blessed, with a global rulership. The only two nations to be blessed with a global rulership was Esau, all right, and Jacob. Okay, because you look at all these ancient empires, no matter how vast they were, okay, they was concentrated to one region of the earth, mainly in the Mesopotamia, Asia, okay, parts of Africa, you see, Europe, okay, they didn't encompass the earth, okay, but the blessings given to Jacob and Esau, they would encompass the earth, okay. And the difference between the two is that Jacob's blessing is eternal. That's why it comes after the age of Esau, okay, which is the rich man of the parable. Okay, and you go into the parable, it's pretty much going into, all right, the age of Esau, all right, as the rich man, okay, and Lazarus in the position of a beggar, a servant, okay, and then Lazarus will come into power, okay, and then Esau would be in the position of a beggar. Okay, that's what that parable is going into. All right, but these two nations are the only two nations that was promised to have rulership of the entirety of the earth. And right now we in Esau's rulership of the entirety of the earth, man. Okay, it says, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. All right, and this shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, man. All right, and Esau came into the fulfillment of this blessing, okay, when he reemerged during the Renaissance. Okay, when he was shut off. Okay, let's get there real quick. In Revelation. All right, Revelation 20. Okay, this is Revelation 21. And I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And it's Yahweh. Okay, and he laid hold on the dragon, speaking of pagan Rome, okay, which fell, okay, which Esau was in rulership, but he wasn't in fulfillment of the blessing. He was, to go to the pagan Roman Empire. Okay, like I said, you had parts of Northern Africa, modern day Europe, and a few parts of Asia Minor. Okay, it wasn't the dew of heaven, which is the earth, because the dew, all right, when you wake up in the morning, the dew is over the whole earth. Okay, so the dew of heaven is a terminology for global rulership. Okay, so when he was in rulership on the pagan Rome, all right, and he fell. Okay, he was pushed out of rulership. He was even pushed out of the region. All right, to the Caucasus mountains. Okay, going towards Russia. The pretty much northeast. All right, in Russia, it says that he laid hold on the dragon. All right, that old serpent. Okay, that is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And this is speaking of Esau, man. Okay, because we know the serpent, all right, will come back as Cain. Okay, that spirit that was in the serpent will come back through Cain. All right, and eventually the spirit was settled in the descendants of Esau. Okay, so we have to understand Edom, Rome, okay, was an extension, all right, of the spirit of the serpent, man. It was, it was a revival of that old serpent. And Esau's rulership today is a revival of that old serpent, the devil, okay, the deceiver, and Satan, the adversary to righteousness. Well, he was bound for 1,000 years, which is called what they call the Dark Ages. Historians call the Dark Ages, when Jake was ruling in Europe, okay, Russia. You see, all right, and Esau was he was bound. He was unable to have any influence in the earth. Okay, but you jump down and goes into his rebirth. Okay, it says when that 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay, and there was a Renaissance. All right, and this man wiggled his way back into positions of power. Okay, eventually he will have those banking cartels. Through the Rothschilds. All right, J.P. Morgan. The different bank elitists. Okay, that would emerge. Out of his Renaissance period, and Esau became wealthy, man. Okay, and so it shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. All right, because his Renaissance, okay, would end, okay, with this major war with Russia. Okay, and you look in the headlines, all right, and all that's being talked about, is the latest, between Russia and the EU. Okay, the bear and this dragon. Okay, so this rich man in the parable with Lazarus, all right, speaking of Esau, Edom, and his blessing. Okay, and his blessing is temporal. You see, let's go to Malachi to prove that as well. This is the book of Malachi. All right, and remember, this is Malachi. Why is Malachi speaking of Esau if Esau has been dead, all right, for generations? So why is this a prophecy concerning Esau? Okay, because all these prophecies are centered around, all right, the dynamic of Jacob and Esau, man. Okay, this is Malachi 1:1. It said the burden of the Lord, or said the burden of the word of the Lord of Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So we understand that the Lord hates Esau, man. All right, it just he says it plainly. All right, but going back to what we read in Revelation 20, the first chapter. All right, that chain was put on this devil. Okay, well, this is speaking of that same history. All right, when the pagan Rome fell, all right, which was the Western Roman Empire. Okay, because the Eastern Roman Empire, that's what became what we know as the Byzantine Empire. Okay, headed by the Constantine dynasty. Okay, and his descendants. Okay, I think the last emperor was Constantine the 11th. Okay, before they was taken down by the Ottoman Turks. All right, but so you see, it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons, okay, of the wilderness. All right, so this Esau's fall as the pagan Rome. Okay, but what happened? Whereas Edom saith, all right, and then he was loosed out of their prison, we are impoverished, okay? We are impoverished, okay? So if you're impoverished, that means what, man? You have no wealth, you have no influence, okay? So he was impoverished, all right? But through the blessing of Isaac, he became rich. He became the rich man. but we will return and build the desolate places. And that's what he did during the Renaissance. Okay, he returned and reestablished, all right, a pagan Rome in the earth. Their daily wound was healed. Okay, because you go into ancient Rome, pretty much that was the peak of Esau's military might and his wealth. Okay, when he was the Roman. So what does he want to do? He revamped his golden age. Rome was Esau's golden age, man. And this is what we in now, a revised Rome, a revamped Rome. Okay? And Yahweh Shai is comparing him to a certain rich man that fares sumptuously every day. Okay? Because Rome was all about, pleasures and parties. And, the culture of Rome was about luxurious living every day. Okay? Just a buffet in the flesh. Okay? Orgies and, revelings. Okay? As the Apostle Peter spoke about. Because there's nothing wrong with wealth, but there's, a class that you're supposed to have with wealth. Okay? There's a certain standard, okay, that you're supposed to move with in your wealth. Okay? But Esau was just, hey, he just fares sumptuously, man. Okay? He's a slave to the flesh. All right? And it says, and they shall build, but I will throw down. Okay? And just like Lazarus, just like the rich man, he was in his wealth, but eventually he was in torments, man. We're talking about his circumstances. Okay? So as you keep reading, it says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So let's go back to the parable, and the Lord still has indignation for this devil, and we finna see it play out, and we're seeing it play out. That's why he causing the devil to make these moves, okay, that's going to lead him to his own destruction. All right, Luke 16:19 again, it says, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. And the scriptures, give accounts of these things when you go to Job 21. All right. Now you read the title of the precepts of this chapter. What does it say? Job says the Most High will deal with the wicked. So the context of these scriptures is addressing the wicked. Okay? And it addresses them being in a certain, condition. Okay? Pretty much them being in their heaven. Okay? This is Job 21:7 says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, are mighty in power. Okay? Because in his blessing, the wicked is prospering. Okay? Read this in the NLT, Job 21:7. Why do the wicked prosper, growing old and powerful, man? Okay? And these devils have done nothing but increase and increase, okay, since they've came into power. They have impoverished the masses, but they become extremely wealthy, man. Okay, you go back into the 70s, I think for every dollar that the worker would make, all right, the CEO, would make the CEO was making like $1,500 for every dollar that the worker would make. Okay, but now in this setup, okay, it's so rigged and corrupted. For every dollar that the worker make, the CEO makes like $33,000, $34,000. Okay, something crazy, ridiculous, man. It's way out of proportion. Okay, because Esau is an unjust ruler. Okay, he's impartial. Okay, with how he runs his system. He does a poor job at wealth distribution. All the wealth flows to the elite. Okay, so we're gonna keep going, and it says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, almighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Yeah, man. Esau, even, got these elites, because we're going to go into it, because the elites, they're just on another planet with wealth. Okay, then you have the super rich. Okay, then you have the wealthy, then you have the upper middle class. Okay, but from the upper middle class to the super elites, they get to see, their their family set up in front of their eyes, man. Okay, they have these different. Hey, these devils be having different, little dynasties amongst themselves, man. Banking dynasties, certain industries, man. They be having dynasty, Walton, Walmart, the Walton family. Okay, all their children are set up before them. Okay, even on the lower level, these upper middle class elites, high thousandaires, millionaire, multi-millionaire elites. Edomites. Okay, they get to pass, wealth to the next generation. Okay, that's not speaking about Jake. Nate is making it seem like they're speaking about Jake, man. Here it is. These niggas get all these several, these dozens of millions of dollars, and these niggas die broke. Jake is under the curses. Jake is not passing down no wealth to nobody. And Esau got it set up where these niggas can't pass down wealth, man. Okay? Them niggas are rich, while they're an asset to the elites, while they're an asset to Hollywood. And once they're not an asset anymore, them niggas are broke. Okay? Ain't no wealth being passed down amongst Jake, man. And Nate talking about this, speaking of rich Jake, man. Come on, man. Okay, and then you're going to remove Esau from punishment. Okay? Some hell of a guys, man. All right, so reading on, it says, their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. Okay, because they're in their blessing. All right, and Esau has so many remote locations throughout the earth that people don't even know about. Okay, even in certain cities, like I say, even you just dealing with the upper middle class, these Edomites are in a good case. Okay, now as this economy is crashing, they beginning to feel the crunch. Okay, but for the longest, man, hey, from upper middle class to the least, man, they've been living in a whole nother realm from everyone else, man. Okay, ain't no high crime. All right, you look at these certain neighborhoods where Esau is, ain't no high crime, ain't no house burglary and drug infested and shootouts. Nah, man. Okay, especially down here in the South, man, Mississippi, Alabama, like what the Edomites said, man, niggas know not to go out there. Okay, niggas know not to go out there with niggas will be the biggest, terrorists in their own neighborhood, but a nigga will not step foot in certain neighborhoods where the Edomites said, man. Okay, and like I say, that's the lowest level, the upper middle class and the wealthy, that we get to see. Okay, but then you have the elites. You don't know where they at. You don't even have the ability to go to where they at. The super rich and the elites. Okay, it says verse 10. It said their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow, all right, calveth and casteth not her calf. And you go into the ancient world. All right, you go into in the ancient times. Okay, especially any time before the industrial age, your livestock was your economy. Okay, your livestock, they represented your economy, man. Okay, so these devils, the economy amongst these devils has just been booming, and then it's so manipulated now to where they can just print money, so they can just make money out of nothing. Okay, they're in a good state. It says, because your livestock in the ancient world, it represented your condition. Job, he spoke about all the livestock that Job had. Okay. Talk about King Solomon, all the sheep that he was able, to sacrifice in one day. I believe 125,000 sheep. Okay, in one day. You see, having these big feasts, so your livestock was a representation of your wealth. Okay, and it says they sent forth their little ones like a flock, and their children, okay, to the dance. Okay, and these devils, they pretty much has been ever since, they came up off of us in captivity, man. It's been a party, man. They've been living, okay, off the fruits of our captivity. They've been living splendid. They've been, partying, okay, in the spirit of celebration, okay, off the fruits of our captivity, man. Okay? There's Edomite family still being taken care of off of slave money, man. Okay? And it says, they take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. Okay? And you read in NLT, says they spend their days in prosperity, then go down to the grave in peace, man, because their next generation is established. They already know that everybody established before they leave. You see, here it is, us under the curses. No matter, it seems like I say, no matter how rich, one of us gets, all right, the next generation pretty much has to start from scratch. You have an exception to the rule here and there, all right, but you know that it ain't gonna be no, like, you might have, a Jake family pass down something to their sons and daughters, but the chance of them passing it down again is highly unlikely, man. Because even that first scenario where Jake has something to pass down, okay, that's extremely rare. And if they do, the chance of it going to the third generation is out the question. Okay, but these devils, have had generational wealth for centuries, man. Okay, that they've been living off of, man. You see? So going back to the parable, he ain't speaking of Esau, man. He's a rich man. Okay? And he's living in his blessing given by Isaac, man. Okay? Now this is a Psalm of Asaph. Alright. This is Psalm 73. And like I say, I've been, because like I said, I've been staying in Mississippi, the metro area, my whole life, and as I've been, moving around more, okay, with the work I do now, and going into different neighborhoods, man, Esau living, man. I done seen some houses and some estates, okay, that I didn't know exist, man. Esau living, and Esau not thinking about you niggas, man. Okay. And going to that great Gulf fix in the parable, which we know ultimately that's the elites, okay, and us, because there's an extremely great Gulf fix, man, but it's just how it's a spiritual thing, because it's a street called Main Street in Madison, Mississippi, and you can look up Madison, Mississippi, and it's I think like the 5th best place to live in America, okay. Let's see if we can look it up. See if you can look up Madison. Madison, Mississippi, best place. Alright, so we know it says Madison is rated the best city to live in for Mississippi for a reason. Madison is very family friendly, has great job opportunity, there's great shopping and restaurant without things being too crowded. Yep, it says with a crime rate of both violent and property crime combined of 6 per 1,000 residents, the crime rate in Madison is one of the lower rates in America among community of all sizes. Okay, lower than 67% of American communities. Okay. All right, Madison, Mississippi has been ranked as the best city in Mississippi to live in and one of the best cities in America by US Today. All right, now, and I'm bringing this out because you have Main Street in Madison, Mississippi, okay, which, as we see, is ranked one of the best, is one of the best cities, okay, to live in the country. All right, a lot of Edomites, and you go into Madison, they have like a building ordinance where you gotta have columns. So you even look at like the Taco Bells and Wendy's, they have those old Roman columns. Okay, and that's part of the city ordinance. When you're building a business, that you gotta have those columns. Okay, they have a shopping and farmers market and movie theater. Okay, they have hotels, and they call that area the Renaissance. Okay, which is in Madison County. All right, but going back to the point, you have Main Street in Madison, and you have this street called Capitol Street in Jackson. Now, Main Street in Madison, that's where you have the upper middle class and the rich, okay, Edomites. But 23 minutes away, you have Capitol Street in Jackson, and you in the trenches. Okay, so you have 23 minutes, okay, of riding on the interstate, and it separates you from the trenches and millionaires, man. Okay, and the upper middle class. You see, showing you some spiritual thing, man. All right, this is Psalm 73, and like I've been having a lot of deliveries out that way, and just be going to some neighborhoods I never been into before, and like I say, Esau living, man. Okay, midday, why, all right, the supervisor, all right, is staring at you, okay, like while you working, okay, Esau is golfing on the water, okay. These Edomites live a completely different reality, man. And like I say, this is just the upper middle class and the rich, okay. The elites and the super rich, they on the whole, like I said, they on a whole another planet of wealth. Okay, it says truly, the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. Okay, so this is a song of Asaph, and he saying truly the Lord is good to Israel, but he was, kind of, flustered. Okay, when he's looking at the wicked, because the Lord is good to us based off our righteousness, man. So it's like, how is the wicked prospering? Because we was given instructions in righteousness for us to prosper. So Asaph is looking like, how was the wicked prospering, man? So he's going on the rant. All right, he's speaking in the spirit. He said, but as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Going back to generational wealth. Going back to them having, their families established, man. Okay? And it said, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Okay? So the wealth of these Edomites, okay, has exceeded everyone else. Okay, the wealth of these Edomites, has exceeded everyone. That's why all these nations have to deal with this devil. All these nations, their money systems flow through Edomite banks. All these currencies in the earth, well, they are measured off the currency of what? The dollar. Okay, When you go into these exchange rates, well, what are they being compared to? The dollar. Okay, this is an Edomite banking system that runs the earth, and that's why he's in control of this digital currency that's going to be regulated by the CHIP. Okay, so these devils, they're not in scrapes like other men. All right. It says, therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, man. And here it is. They had all these advantages as a people, okay, but they still make it seem as if, that the reason that they in the condition they in and we in the condition we in is because we're lazy and they're hard working. Okay, that's the narrative that they run with, as if their forefathers were just these hard working, industrious, ingenuitive people. Okay, and we just come from laziness. Well, wait, y'all got rich off our labor, so how the hell could we be lazy? Okay, these Edomites are, benefiting off an economy that was started by slavery. Okay, all right, this whole economy that you Edomites enjoy, okay, was started off of slavery, man. But they'll speak down as if Jake is in the position that they're in off of laziness, man. Get out of here, man. Okay. It says, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh throughout the earth. Okay, in their pride. Because now he's so carried away. He's been prospering for so long, that he thinks that he's a god. This speaking of the elites. Now these upper middle class and rich Edomites that we see, they're proud. That's why you see Karen with them shades on, with their dog in her lap, in their Mercedes truck. Okay, proud as hell. Okay, yeah, she's proud, but these elites are proud on another level, to where they think that they're gods, man, because their policies, okay, govern the earth. Their policies dictate, all right, what's happening in the earth. Okay, so going back to that rich man. Okay, this is speaking of Esau. Now, I want to get this article. Okay, right on cue. All right, Karen, with them shades. Okay, all right. It says, meet the typical millionaire. All right, and this is from Business Insider. It said they're over 55, have a house worth nearly 7 figures, and are probably moving to Scottsdale. All right, which is Arizona. Okay, now come on, no man, just open up. Let's see. Come on, man. It won't let me open up the rest of the article, man. See, I might can find it the long way. Yeah, here we go. All right. It says, I'm getting straight to the point. All right. It says, millionaires, those who have a net worth of at least $1 million, are perhaps not surprisingly on the older end. They're predominantly 55 and older. Just 2.4% are under the age of 35. Older Gen Xers and Boomers have the millionaire market particularly cornered, okay, with more than a quarter of the millionaires in the 55 to 64-year-old range. It says millionaires are very likely to hold at least a college degree. Here we go. This is what I want. It says millionaires are also mostly white, showcasing yet another example of racial wealth gaps in the U.S. Nearly 86% of millionaires are white. That's not constrained to just millionaires, according to the Federal Reserve. A typical white family wealth dwarfs that of a typical black and Hispanic family. Okay, Israelites. Okay, with the white family's wealth 6 and 5 times higher, respectfully. Okay, and you had one statistics to come out for every $5 that the black so-called black family makes. The white family makes 100. Okay, for every $5, the black household makes, Jake household make, the Edomite household makes 100, and this is just on the low level. Okay, with the elites is astronomical. Okay, so yeah, I just thought that was interesting. All right, we're going here, so let's go back to the parable now. Let's deal with the beggar. All right, as we understand who the rich man is, so let's deal with the beggar. This is Luke 16 and 20. It says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, okay, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, okay, and desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. Now, let's deal with the beggar, okay, in which when you go to the curses, all right, when you go to the curses, Deuteronomy 28, all right, and which who's under the curses? Israel. Okay, Deuteronomy 28:15, but it shall come to pass, all right, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay, so when you go into the beggar, okay, because if you're in the position of a beggar, all right, that means you're at the mercy of someone. Okay, and in this economy, who have we been in the mercy in this rulership? Okay, this Edomite, all right, supremacist rulership. All right, we are at the mercy of Esau. Okay, and the curses say we would be. All right, Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Okay, this is the rich man and Lazarus. The rich man has gotten very high. He's fared sumptuously every day, and Lazarus is in the position of a beggar. Okay. It says, and he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Okay, Esau is the head of the world's economy. We're the tail. Okay, Esau is the head of status and influence. Okay, we're at the tail. You see, and this all goes back to a curse of our disobedience. Okay, verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. All right, and you look at our people, all right, you know, going back to the community is done. Okay, that's why the Lord pulled the elect out of that madness to begin our restoration. But guess what? Our people only have gotten worse. Since we came into the truth until this time, guess what? Our people have gotten worse. Okay, to the point to where they're destroyed. All right, as they've been saying on social media, this generation is cooked. Okay, which means they're done. Okay, and that's why you gotta be thankful that the Lord took us out of the darkness and brought us into this light, man, and started to nurse us back to health with His word, man. Okay, it says, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power to keep His commandment and His statutes which He commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Okay, so us under the curses shows who we are. Okay, we're Israelites under the curses. Our circumstances and conditions as a people, that's a token for who we are. Let's go into the word sign. All right, you go into the word sign. Okay, in the Hebrew it's a hath. Okay, which is sign, signal. Okay, a distinguishing mark, a banner, remembrance, an omen. Okay, proof. Okay, go down here, it says a monument, prodigy, evidence. Okay, so the curses are evidence of who we are, man. All right, it says verse 47, says, because thy servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Okay, which, hey, we was ungrateful. You know, the scripture say Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. We rebelled when the Lord was good unto us. Okay, when we was in a good estate. All right, when we was, all right, the rich men in the earth, we got beside ourselves, man. Okay, and the Lord brought these curses. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send thee against thee in hunger and in thirst. And this is us, all right, being subjugated to Esau, not other Jakes. Jakes don't own nothing. Okay? Well, when you get your car financed, when you get your house financed, when, you know, these grocery stores, you have to go through Esau. Okay? Even Jakes that have their own business, they got to get permission from Esau. Okay? Jake ain't got no sovereignty, man. Okay? Deuteronomy 28 and 48, he said, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which thou shalt send thee, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until ye have destroyed thee. Okay? And this captivity has destroyed the minds of our people, man. Okay? You look at, you know, how people move now. They're in self-destruct mode, so Esau can take off, you know, the yokes of iron, because our people are slave to the flesh. And if you're a slave to the flesh by default, you're a slave to the money system, which I got another video I want to do, okay, responding to, you know, this podcast where Jake shows you that he's just a slave to the flesh. And if you're a slave to the flesh, you're a slave to this money system, okay, to where you run yourself raggedy, you know, trying to chase the bag so you can feed your flesh. Okay? But we will be in a position to where we will be in the want of all things, okay? Because of the curses. All right? And this is what Yahweh Shai is breaking down, man. Okay? The rich man is not a Israelite man that got money, man. Okay? And see, Nate can do this. See, that's the thing. IUIC, they'll feed you the chicken and the pan trout at the cookout, but then they give you this GMO doctrine, man. Okay? They give you this synthetic doctrine, man, with no nutrients, man. There's no way if you in IUIC, you have no clue what the Bible is talking about with these latest breakdowns, man. Okay? They tell you the MOTB is a sin in Christianity. Okay, they telling you that Esau is going to come back after 1,000 years. Okay, we're going to have to fight another war with Esau. Okay, they're telling you about hell. All right, so now you know you can go to hell. The rich man, the rich Israelites going to hell. But wait a minute, Nate is rich. Okay, he fares sumptuously every day. So it's like, what you know. So IUIC, like the way Like IUIC is gonna be just as confused as Christian. Pretty much Nate has pulled them back into Christianity, man. Okay, the teachers of Nate has taken IUIC back to Christianity, man. They just eat a little more lamb and got fringes on everything. You know? So going back here, I want to make another point. Luke 16 and 21, it says, "In desire to be fed with the crumbs." And see, we getting the crumbs of the crumbs of the crumbs. Because you have the elites, okay, that we don't see. You know, the Rothschilds, Rockefeller, you know, the DuPonts, the Vanderbilts, okay, the J.P. Morgans, you know, the Morgans, okay. You have the elites that we don't see, all right. Then you have the super rich, you know, your Elon Musk, your Gates, all right, you know, Jeff Bezos, okay. And then you have the wealthy under them, and then you have the rich and the upper middle class, which, you know, we see, you know, they got their side of town, and we're all right, eating off the crumbs, basically of the rich and the you know, the wealthy, the rich, and the upper middle class, you know, because they're getting crumbs from the elites. Okay, so we're getting, you know, secondhand crumbs. Okay, it says, "Which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs, which are the other nations, came and licked the sores." Okay, because you look at these other nations, because even you go into how people eat, you know, the brother Required Quam, you know, he broke it down the other day. All right, like over there in the islands, you know, Jake, you know, eating possum and turtle and all these different things, because Esau, you know, when he brought a lot of the southern kingdom over here to work, you know, he really didn't have no agriculture system for him, you know, so Jake would pretty much have to catch and eat, you know, whatever they could. All right, and then you had the slave diet, you know, where, you know, as you would house the slaves, you know, you would get the leftover, you know. Esau would eat, you know, the good parts of the meat and leave Jake, well, really with that pork, you know, which is unclean, we shouldn't be, ain't no good parts of pork, okay, but he would get the choice parts and give Jake what, the intestines, the feet, okay, and niggas eat chitlins and pig feet to this day, okay, they was eating off the you know, the crumbs of the master's table, man, okay, turkey necks. Okay, Esau's in there eating the wings, the legs, the breasts of the turkey. Okay, and you give a nigga the neck. Okay, and then now you see today, you know, going back to the curses of the hair, you know, with the woman. Well, that's $1 billion industry, man. The weave and wig industry is $1 billion industry, man. Okay, Ishmael and Elon with these gas stations. All right, selling our people everything by the single. You know, Jake under the curses, man, and all these nations, okay, benefit off us in this lower state. Okay? All these nations benefit off us in the lower state, and this captivity has wounded us, man. Alright. So let's get a few precepts on it. Alright, because these nations, they always look for our downfall. Alright? So us in this condition is Lamentations 2 and 14. Well, I started 15. It says, "All that passed by," all right, and this is us in our lower state when we was taken down by the Babylonians, "and all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head, all right, at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city, all right, that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, We have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day we look for. We have found, we have seen it." Okay? So all these heathens scoff at our low condition and they capitalize off of it, man. Okay, all these heathens scoff and capitalize off our low condition, man. All right, Esau, he just capitalizes the most. Okay, let's go here. Psalms 83. All right. Psalms 83 and 1. And it says, keep not thou silent, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still. O power, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, man, because even all the upper echelons of these heathens, they know who we are. Okay, so when they have these summits and these councils, okay, it's always on the agenda, all right, to keep us in this lower state. Okay, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are all confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, which is the rich man. Okay, he's at the head, and the Ishmaelites. Okay, I say Ishmael. All right, hey, he has a whole industry just off gas stations, man. Okay, in certain little stores, hair stores, Moab, as it's going to say, or Moab, and the Hagarinis. All right, so you got Moab, you know, with their little restaurants, hair stores, beauty supply. Okay, nails. Okay, everyone has some type of position of authority to capitalize off us, man. Okay, it says Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. All right, Salah. Okay, so we have to understand that these nations are in conglomerate and keeping Jake as being the beggar in the position of Lazarus. Okay, and it goes into those swords, where those swords come from this captivity. All right, which, you know, our people suffer from true mental illness, man. And one of the biggest mental illness our people have is no identity. Okay, because when you go into it, your identity govern your actions, and your actions get your results. If you identify as a street nigga, okay, that's gonna govern your actions. You know, you're gonna produce the actions of a street nigga, and you're gonna get the results of a street nigga. Okay, if you, all right, identify as a feminist, you're gonna move as a feminist, and you're gonna get the results of a feminist. Okay, so that's why when you go to Isaiah 1 and 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass is master crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. Okay, so our people have no identity. They don't even care about being an Israelite, because being an Israelite is a lifestyle, man. Okay, not a gimmick. Like a lot of these camps, being an Israelite to them is a gimmick. Okay, but being an Israelite is a lifestyle, man. Okay, it's a standard. It's a way of life. Okay, and as we've been separated from that in this captivity, and our people have cleaved on to all these other identities, and it has destroyed them, man. Okay, it said, verse 4 says, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers. So they pass down this degenerate culture. You know, say the seed of evildoers. So as Esau is passing down wealth, our people is passing down a culture that destroys them, man. Poor decision making. Okay? Niggas teaching Jake to be niggas, man. Okay? Your uncles and your cousins teaching you to be a street nigga. You know? Your aunties and your cousins, you know, teaching the women to be independent and single mothers. Okay? This is the culture that our people are passing down. Okay? While Esau was passing down wealth. Okay? and authority. You see? And it says, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel into anger, they are going away backwards, man. Okay, and the only thing that can stop us, from going away backwards, okay, is the Holy Spirit, okay, of faith, the Holy Spirit giving us faith and understanding, and us cleaving back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and now we're moving forward again as a people. Okay, the elect of Israel is moving forward. All right, as Apostle Paul said, he pressed toward the mark. All right, which is to get back to their glory, man. Okay, a righteous kingdom. But if you're not in Yahushua, you're just going way backward. You're getting worse. It says, why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. The whole heart is faint. Okay, going back to those sores. Okay? From Judah to Issachar, all the tribes, Judah being the head tribe, man. Hey, there's a sickness amongst our people. And unless, okay, hey, we tap back into Yahushua, we come under the order of Yahushua, the teachings of Yahushua, because that's where the healing at, man. Ain't no healing outside of this, man. Jake done tried everything: drugs, sex, fame, money, okay, politics. Jake done tried everything, man. Degrees, nothing is healing Jake. Jake is getting worse. The only healing medicine is Yahushua. Okay, it said, from the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises, all right, and petrifying sores, they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified, all right, with ointment. Okay, and this is the condition of our people, okay, where their wounds are only getting worse in this captivity. Okay, and that's why the Lord eventually is going to have to remove Esau, Edom from power, and just delete, okay, 2/3, and they're going to have to start over afresh, man. Okay, a lot of our people has gotten so bad it just has to be a hard reset. They refuse to reset in the grace period, so the Lord's going to have to reset them in his anger. But this captivity under this rich man in this parable, Esau, Edom, all right, has our people in this condition. Okay, Isaiah 30 and 12, it said, for thus said the Lord, thy bruise is incurable and thy wound is grievous. Okay, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. Okay, and no one is trying to bind up your sores. On the dogs, which are these other heathen nations under Esau, they just lick them. Okay, they just give you little temporary fixes, man. Or I say, Jake go to the gas station and get his single black and mild. All right, a single beer. Okay, pack of cigarettes, some cigarillos. Okay, and a single condom. Okay, and that's a nigga happy kid for the day, man, in his captivity. You see? And it says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. Okay, so all these heathens, okay, and the Lord calls them our lovers because we went out of the way of the heathens. We was infatuated with the culture and the lifestyle of the heathens. You see? So the Most High is mocking, like, all these lovers you got, and ain't nobody trying to heal you. You were so infatuated with these heathens, but no one's trying to heal you now that you're in the position of a beggar and you're wounded. Okay? And it says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Okay? So it was on us that we've been put in the position of beggars, man. Okay, and even these niggas that so-called got money, they're still in the position of begging. Okay, niggas begging to get a Grammy, niggas begging to get an Oscar. Okay, niggas have to act a certain way not to get counseled. They still in the position of beggars, and this money that niggas got is nothing but the crumbs of the elites, man. Okay, these niggas ain't got no money, man. Okay, and Esau can put them niggas right back in the projects whenever he feel like. Okay, he can put Mayweather in the poorhouse whenever he want to, man. Okay, you see Mayweather had to go over there and put that small hat on. Okay, man, let's see if we can find this nigga, man. Let me see. I'll pull up. I had the video on WhatsApp. Oh boy, look at this, man. And this that wound. Iconic 1996 photo of black woman protecting a KK member is even more powerful today. Look at this nigga, man. Wounded. Okay? Wounded, man. Let me see if I don't know why I won't pull up for him. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Alright, Floyd. Mayweather. Receive what's the thing called? A yarmulke. I think called a yarmulke. I'm saying it right. Oh, I can't find it. Well, it's a video, man, where this nigga over there with these small hats, and they get this nigga a yarmulke with diamonds on it, man. Okay, it's all good. But you see this coon nigga out there? All right, these niggas ain't free. All right, this nigga gotta support whatever they tell him to support, man. Okay, this nigga gotta support, and he gotta stand on. Here you go. All right, and them niggas more slaves than we are, man. Okay. All right, so let's go back to it. And it says, "Why criest thou?" In Jeremiah 30:15. "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done all these things unto thee." Okay, so we're being wounded because of our disobedience, and our people constantly cry out, but they won't repent. Okay, so the Lord is like, what's the point of crying out and you won't change? Okay, so in order to get out of their position from a beggar, okay, we're all right. We had to repent first, man. Okay, and then the Lord began start making moves to get us from the position of being a beggar, which I do that, Lord will, Abba Rogers, I can do that in the part 2, but I just want to touch on the rich man and the beggar, all right, going into Jacob and Esau, man, all right, that's what that parable is speaking of, okay, not poor Jake and rich Jake, man, okay, tripping, all right, so Lord will use edified, Lord will come back with the part 2, dealing with us, coming from the position of a beggar, okay, and this time to come, in the short future, Lord will. All right, so Lord will use edified, till the next time I say Shalom. All right, Kwam Yashala, Abba Babal, Shalom.